When you talk about women are fixing a broken man, let me be the first person to say that that topic was not ethnicity specific. It just said women. It didn't specify black women or not. I do feel like there was a point in time where when women had things to do, what we call women business, that we no longer do. Because now majority of everything entailed around women's businesses, our hobbies have turned into money. Everything that we used to like to do, now we monetize it. It's a capitalistic game. And of course, it's America. It is what it is. But all in all, I do feel like that black women specifically have a dependability issue when it comes to our men. I feel like a lot of times, I know Mr. Lego spoke about the abandonment and stuff like that, but I do feel like a lot of times our need complex comes from the idea that when a man is crippled and he doesn't have anything, then we know that there will be a revolving door. And sadly, the need complex is fed. So you keep feeding that fire, it's gonna grow. All in all, I don't agree with it. I don't feel like women should be subjugating themselves to a bottom of the barrel man in order to just say you have a man. But it happens. And what you see is a lot of times the mindset becomes very codependent. She attaches herself to a man and then she can't stay out of a relationship. She hops from relationship to relationship, or she gets an extremist mindset. She wants to do things like say she doesn't need a man. She's on this self-love journey, or she divests. That's exactly what they do because their whole personality is tailored around this bitterness, this idea of, well, I did this for this one man, I'll never do it for nobody else. And every man who comes along has to prove themselves because she fixed a broken man. And broken men can create a very much so traumatic experience within women because we're emotional. But all in all, I really wish Mr. Lego would stop speaking about sexual assault because you just be wrong. You be loud and wrong.
I didn't bring up sexual assault. She brought up
You
sexual
didn't
assault.
bring it up, but you be wrong, my
I
guy.
said
Like,
Yep.
who is usually doing it is the brother or the
and you are still
boyfriend.
wrong because
That's
even
not
without any,
wrong.
let me tell you why you're wrong.
You love running around
Without
calling
any
folks
brought
wrong
it
and you be wrong as hell.
Oh, yeah,
and
one at a
she
time. One at a
said
time.
80% of girls, she failed to mention that black boys are underreported. Black boys start getting early assaulted as early as 7 or 8 years old. Black girls start getting assaulted as early as 12 years old. So black
What's your
boys
point?
start,
It's about the same
wait,
person.
wait, give me a second. Black boys start getting assaulted before even black girls. They get exposed to sex
By
early.
who?
Wait, I'm getting to that. Can you wait? Give me a damn second. I've been very quiet while
Don't
y'all
be
held
argumentative.
Come on, let go.
and then moving forward on that, women introduce children and other women into sexual assault situations more than men, whether it is by the woman or by people associated with the woman.
Which I
So
said.
it's not necessarily other men all the time. It could be a woman's friend, her girlfriend. There are many stories of black boys who were sexually assaulted by their mother's friend. You have to stop saying shit because it sounds good to you. It's not right.
Harry, my point is the mother is bringing the assaulter into the house. You
It
missed
don't
that
That's
because
not
you
matter.
don't
true.
want to
You
talk so
said
much.
That's
men.
not true.
You
Y'all
are
gotta
No,
stop blaming women for everything.
The
Dang.
mother is who
Yeah,
brings the assaulter into the house when the child
that's
gets
not
molested.
always.
still
That's not
hold
wrong.
tight,
always.
y'all. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight, because I know Nicole want to get in there too. Go ahead, Nicole.
That's a fact. Nicole?
You gotta come off mute.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I wanted to jump in. I just don't like over talking people. Um, but I think I was thinking about just the whole thing, what Let Go was saying. And for me, I don't know, I'm all about personal accountability. I hold men accountable just as much as I hold women accountable because right is right, wrong is wrong. That's the way I look at things. And I try to have a very balanced opinion to see both sides of every situation, every conversation. So even listening to this conversation, I think sometimes as women, and I'm speaking, I can't speak from a man's point of view because I'm not a man, but I am a woman and I can speak from a woman's point of view. And as a woman, I feel like we have way more power than we try to let off. We have way more control, way more choices, way more decision than we think we do. The problem is that we don't want to take accountability for our poor choices. We don't want to take accountability for repeating patterns. You know what I'm saying? We just don't. And unfortunately, yes, I'm not saying that these men that are broken should be getting with us either, but at the same time, when we identify that a man is broken or he has an issue, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how he got broken. If you didn't break him, does it matter how he got broken? If you didn't break him, because for me, I feel like you still have to still make the conscious decision and say, you know what, this man, there's red flags here from the beginning, but we tend to ignore red flags and we continue on in these relationships or situationships because half of these things are not relationships, they're situationships. So at the end of the day, we need to stop getting into situationships to stop these patterns, because at the end of the day, if we don't get into the relationship or the situationship, it doesn't matter how broken that man is, how much of a player he is, how much of a whatever not so good man he is. If we don't allow that, because if we as women take a stand and we say, you know what, across the board, and we say that, okay, we're not gonna allow these type of men to come in here and do this, you know what I'm saying? Then I promise you, it's going to force change. That man has no choice to change, because you know what? No one's going to tolerate that. But as long as there's women that allows that behavior and tolerates a man coming in and creating a situationship or in a relationship that's with someone that's broken, it's going to continue to happen. And so it doesn't matter how it got there, because you're grown. You can't go back and rewind things. You can't change the past. But what you can control is the present and the future. And I think sometimes we minimize the power and the control that we have as women, because at the end of the day, it could be 100 guys trying to talk to me, right? It could be 100 guys trying to get into a situationship with me. It's still up to me to make the decision and to say, you know what? Nah, I'm good. Or, you know what? Yes, let me entertain this and let me continue to put myself in a situation. That's the problem that I have with a lot of women, and I don't care, but I'm going to speak my truth. I just feel like a lot of women have no accountability. Not to say that men shouldn't be accountable for the things that they do, absolutely. But right now, we're having a conversation about the women and the choices, because the topic is about too many women feel useful when they are helping to fix a broke man. Now, it was flipped the other way around to say that, too many men are doing something, then I would talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's accountability across the board. But what we're not going to do, and what we tend to do more often than not, is we sit here and we love to move the goalpost and kind of push it back on the men as if we have no responsibility in any of this. So I'm done speaking.